So tonight we are looking at BCG growth matrix. We as well look at the meaning of SWOT analysis, SWA analysis, hyper competition, lock-in strategy, and then answer matrix. So these are the 4 or 5 sub areas that we are going to look at. So we are going to do justice to that in the next 2 hours or thereafter. So can we please start our lecture?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So the first topic that we are looking at tonight is BCG matrix. So in the exam paper, they can abbreviate using BCG, or the examiner can assist us to write it in full. They can as well write it in full and put the abbreviation in front. So other paragraphs and the rest, so abbreviation will now be used. So the Boston Consulting Group matrix, BCG means Boston Consulting Group matrix. It is a growth matrix that was developed by scholars to assist organizations in evaluating their business and product performance. Why? Because there is a fundamental need for management to evaluate existing products and services in terms of their market development potential and their potential to generate profits. That is one of the fundamental justifications for the use of BCG matrix, meaning that to evaluate existing products and services in terms of their market development potential and potential to generate profit. Knowing fully that the reason why we are into business is to generate profits. The BCG matrix, which incorporates the concept of product life cycle, is a useful tool which helps management to assess existing and developing products and services in terms of their market potential. Meaning that the essence of using this BCG matrix is for the company to be able to assess, evaluate their product performance in relation to other competing products in the market. We all know that we are not the only ones selling in the market, and without periodic assessment of our product performance in terms of market share, sales, profitability, or revenue, then we cannot be able to know the competitive strength of that product, and we cannot be able to ascertain how profitable the product is to the organization. Apart from that, more importantly, the BCG model can also be used to assess the strategic position of SBUs. We use the model to know the strategic position of the company in relation to other competing rivals. So what is the contribution of our strategic business unit? And what is our competitive position? Are we among the market leader position, market challengers position, market followers position, or market niche position? Before we proceed further, we have to know that The BCG, it is particularly useful to those organizations which operate in a number of different markets. To those companies that have multiple product lines, they have about 2, 3, 4, 5 product lines, or they operate in multiple markets. These are the categories of organization that BCG Matrix is useful for. But for a company that operates or sell a single line of products, they cannot use BCG. But it will be difficult for them to evaluate or classify their products or services performance. So BCG, in a simple layman time, is useful for companies that have 1, 2, 3, 4 products. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 products. That means they have extended product line, or companies that operate in multiple markets. We have a lot to learn tonight. The matrix offers an approach to product portfolio planning. That means the BCG matrix, it is used by companies for product portfolio planning. It is used by companies to make strategic decisions. It is used by companies to make investment decisions. So aside that, the BCG model, it has 2 controlling criteria. There are 2 criteria that we use to measure product and services performance under BCG. So that's the reason why we have it said that the model has 2 controlling criteria, namely the relative market share and the relative market growth. So there are 2 criteria, 2 parameters or indices that we use to measure product or business performance under BCG. The 2 criteria are the market share and market growth. So by that market growth, it means the attractiveness, the profitability of the market, the sales potential of the market. If the market is growing, what is our own share in terms of sales and profitability? So if the market is growing and our own product is generating low sales volume, low profitability, that means that product is underperforming. And that's the reason why the market share and the market growth are 2 key criteria that we use to analyze product and business performance under BCG. The objective of the matrix is achieving a balanced portfolio of investments and assist with the allocation of funds to different products or business units. I'll say that again. What is the objective of BCG matrix? The objective of the matrix is achieving a balanced portfolio of investments and assist with the allocation of funds to different products or business units. So the meaning of that is that the major objective of BCG matrix is to achieve a balanced portfolio of investments. When we say achieving a balanced portfolio of investment, it means we are saying that the company should ensure that all their products are doing extremely fine. We don't want to relent on any product as the breadwinner of the company. We don't want to relent on any product that, okay, this is the only product that is generating the excessive returns needed for turnaround in the company. So whenever I can say, please move, please. Whenever I can say what will happen to the product in the future, the market might become.
Yes, I want to confirm.
Jeremiah, please mute.
Jeremiah, mute, please.
I thought I moved.
You are distracting the class, please. You are interrupting us. Please mute. Thanks. Okay, I'll take that again because of the little distraction there. That the major objective of the BCG matrix is achieving a balanced portfolio of investments and assists with the allocation of funds to different product or business units. This should be your judgment in exam. We have to look at this in case we are being given a scenario question. And that scenario question, the company is not working towards achieving a balanced portfolio of investments. We can assist, we can advise the company that the company should ensure a balanced portfolio of investments going forward. So let's now look at the meaning of that balanced portfolio of investments. What does it mean? Achieving a balanced portfolio of investment that we have here means that the company should strive towards ensuring that they put in place a strategic planning and measures and strategic evaluation to ensure that all the products that they are producing, all of them are generating expected returns. And it's likely that all of them might not generate equal amount of returns to the company, but at least the products and services must be competitive enough to generate reasonable market share and reasonable profitability in the market. So achieving portfolio of investment means that the company should not just relent on one product as a cash cow. They must ensure that they nurture, finance, support all other products too, so that all the products will be competitive in the market and be generating reasonable revenue to the company. Again, we have here that when we achieve a balanced portfolio of investment, this one will aid allocation of funds to different product or business units. The meaning of that is that the more all the products are doing extremely very well in the market, we can be able to generate substantial returns to support all weak or underperforming products. So when we go further, you understand more about this balanced portfolio of investments and financing of weak products. The BCG matrix, the matrix is equally called 2x2 matrix. We call it 2x2 matrix. Some scholars call it product market grid. So please take note of that in exam, in case the examiner says using 2x2 BCG matrix or using the product market grid. Analyze the case scenario and advise the company. So we call it 2x2 matrix. We call it product market grid. So the diagram for the BCG matrix is what we are seeing on our slide. We have star products, cash cow products, problem child products that we equally call question mark products, and the last one that we have is dog products. So that informs us that BCG classify product and services into 4. I will repeat that again. BCG classify product and services into 4 based on their market share and market growth. So the 4 classification of the product or services are: we have star products, cash cow products, problem child products, and we have dog products. So the 2 criteria that we use to classify them is the market growth and the market share. So we proceed further by looking at the meaning of these products: star product, problem child, cash cow, and dog products. What does it mean? You see, all these names are given to the products based on their degree of performance, and that performance is the market share they are commanding and the profits they are generating to the company. So this name might be unknown to the customers. The name might be unknown to the distributors, the investors, the accredited agents, and the rest. They are internal names that the strategic business unit manager, brand manager, functional manager use to classify their products based on the amount of sales and revenue that they are generating. So don't forget, BCG classify products or services into 4. We are namely star products, cash cow products, question mark products, and dog products. So to start with, we look at the star products. Star products. Stars are products which have high market share in a high growing market. Star products, they are products that have a high market share in a high growing market. That means star products have HH, II because the market is growing, the product is equally generating high market share and profitability for the company. So star products, they are products that the company is selling in a growing market, attractive market, profitable market. And as God will have it, our product did not disappoint us. Our expectations is met because our own product too is generating high market share. So that's the reason why we have is that star products, they are products which have high market share in a high growing market. So any product that is generating high market share in a high growing market, we call it a rising star, a star product. So these star products, which market are we selling the products? Why a star product, why a market is strong and still growing, meaning that star products are products that generate high market share and in a high growing market. They are products that we sell in a strong and growing market. Star products are sold in a growing market. In fact, the examiner will inform you that, because that differentiates between star product and cash cow products. Cash cow products are products that we are selling in a matured market. The level of competition in the cash cow market is very high or higher than that of the star products. So star product, we sell them in a growing market. And you can see that I said here that the star products, they are products that we sell in a market that is strong and growing. Competition is not yet fully established, but the demand for that product is very, very strong. So this star product that we are seeing is an established brand in the market. It's one of the products that customers and the consumers have developed preference for. And this product that you are seeing the product generates very good profit margin. And it assists the company in which way? It generates a very good profit margin, and at the same time, manufacturing overheads are minimized due to high sales volume and good economic of scale. So the product assists us in reducing our manufacturing, that is operating costs, all because our sales volume is very high and we are gaining economic of scale. We have the opportunity to leverage on the mass production and spread the unit costs of our products. So this product is one of the assets to the organization that have a star product. So what is our management advice for companies that produce star products? What are they going to do? What is the expert opinion or advice or judgment that we are going to give in the exam? The first advice that we are going to give the company is that the management should continue to nurture. You can see I'm mentioning that nurture for the second time. Nurture. Because that was the word that the scholar used. Nurture means to support. Nurture means to finance. So for that star product, the management is advised to continue to nurture the product in order to transform it into cash cow product. We must not relent despite the remarkable performance of the product. So the company should ensure that they invest aggressively in production capacity, technology, market, and distribution. That is one form of finance or way of nurturing a product to transform and improve the sales and profitability performance. The company should invest aggressively in production capacity, technology, marketing, and distribution. Secondly, the company should improve and ensure continuous innovation. That one we equally uphold the sales and profitability performance of the product in the market. So the second one is cash cow products. A cash cow has a relatively high market share in a low growth market. Don't forget that star products have high market share in a high growing market, but when it comes to cash cow products, a cash cow has a relatively high market share in a low growing market. And should generate excess significant cash flow. In a simplified form, the cash cow product, it is the number one product, the breadwinner of the company, that generates excessive returns for the company in a mature market. Despite the fact that there are many competing products in the market, the level of competition is high. You can see here that the scholars say the market growth is low. What slows down or brings about the lower market growth is the level of competition. And despite the fact that the level of competition is intense or hyper here, this our product is still generating high market share. And not only high market share, is generating excessive returns to the company. So these excessive returns that this product is generating give the company an opportunity. What opportunity does it bring to the company? This provides remarkable opportunity for the management with the idea of making the returns from the previous investments. These are times, relative times terminologies under BCG. Making means that the company should take out of the excess profit that the cash cow product is generating to finance other underperforming products. Apart from using the money to finance other underperforming products like dog products, question mark products, when we are talking of making the returns that we derive from cash cow products, let me give you another benefit. The excessive profit that we generate from a cash cow product can be made to pay overhead expenses, to pay for rentage, dividends. We can use the money to develop a new product in the market. So of all the four classifications, cash cow product is number one in terms of profit generation, followed by star products, followed by question mark products. The last one that is very weak in terms of competition and returns is dog products. So what are the marketing strategy or strategic advice we are going to give the company on the cash cow products. The most universal advice given by scholar is that the company should maintain strategy for success on these products or services. We should maintain strategy for success on the products so that we not alter our pricing strategy, product quality, our promotional campaign that we have been using, distribution networking and strategy, customer relationship management, everything that we are doing that makes this product to succeed, we maintain it. So that's what we have here. The management is advised to support products in these quadrants. And this should be aimed at what? Maintaining and protecting their existing position. So we maintain status quo in strategy. Don't alter your strategy for success. So apart from that, the other strategic approaches that we can use are this. The management should also maintain market share of the products. 2, maintain strong customers relationship and brand loyalty. 3, focus on cost reduction and operational efficiency. Aside that, 4, use the excessive cash generated from the cash cow to support star and promising question mark products. So another effective strategy that we can use is to defend the product against competitors. How can we defend the product against competitors? Through pricing, distribution strategy, and customer service and strategies. So once we do this, then we can be able to maintain the strategic position and performance of the product in the competitive market. So the third categories of products is question mark products. The question mark product is also called problem child products. Question mark products, they are also called problem child products. We call them a problem child product because these are products that consume huge amount of investment, but yet generate lower returns. Another reason why we call them a problem child product is because they are selling in a high-growing market, profitable market, but this our product is generating low returns to the company. I've given you 2 reasons why we call them a problem child product. So problem child products have a relatively low market share in a high-growing market. There's nothing wrong with the market. The market or industry is attractive. The purchasing power of the customers are very high, but yet this our product is performing below expectations. This might be as a result of maybe the product is new, or the level of awareness is known to the customers, or because of the fact that some customers have developed loyalty for some of the existing products. So please note, problem child products, they have a relatively low market share in a high-growing market. This might be often due to the fact that they are new products or they are yet to receive recognition by prospective purchasers that we call customers. So what are we going to do to improve the performance of these question mark products? Because we must not lose hope on these products. Let me inform you, some of the star products that we are celebrating today that is generating substantial returns to the company, some of them are formerly question mark products that has been transformed and their sales now peak. So because of that, we have to ensure that our question mark products are monitored critically. We must do holistic cost and products, market and profitability analysis for us to be able to decide if there is need to continue with this product or to focus on some of the question mark products and be thinking of the withdrawal strategy that we can use for other ones that continue with wrong, poor performance in terms of profitability. So if the question mark products continue with this poor performance, we can reduce the quantity of the product that we are producing. We can embark on harvesting strategy and many more. We are still going to come to that gradually. I don't want to overload you. So what is the advice on the question mark products? The management is advised to continue to nurture. I've told you that nurture means finance. They should continue to nurture the products in order to transform it into star products. Why? I justify it. Because many problem child products have future potential profitability. Some of these products have future potential profitability, and we can see that they are more than this. We have some in this quadrant before, but now they are now star products. So we can still continue with aggressive support for these products so that we can enhance their performance going forward. Apart from that, other managerial advice are: 1, the company is advised to conduct detailed market and competitors analysis before committing substantial resources. So when our products fall into this quadrant, it has become a problem child product. We have to ensure that on a continuous basis, we conduct market and competitors analysis. This one will guide our investment decision. Secondly, we have to determine whether the product has realistic potential to become a star product. There are some products that no matter the level of strategy, input, investment, and the rest, they will still remain static in terms of sales and profitability. So due to that, that's the reason why I put this number 2, that we have to determine the product if it has realistic potential to become a star product. But if the product does not have realistic potential, then we have to think twice before further commitment of resources on the product. Number 3, we have to improve product quality or think of differentiating the product so that it will look different from all other existing products in the market. Another strategy is targeting specific profitable customer segments. So rather than trying to serve everyone. So if you cannot be able to command the attention and patronage of the entire customers in the market, we can focus on the market niche, target specific profitable customer segment. That's what we call market niche. We can focus on the smaller set of customers that this product is useful for, and they are going to patronize us at a profit. Let me add one strategic approach again that we can continue. We can consider harvesting. We can consider harvesting or divesting if the product continually underperforming. Harvesting means holistic cost reduction on unprofitable and underperforming products. Or rather, we can decide to divest the product. Divestment is a withdrawal strategy, meaning that we can decide to reduce the quantity of the product that we are producing and gradually withdrawing the product from circulation. That is what we call divestment strategy. It's an exit strategy. The last product under the BCG contract is dog products. Dog products. A dog has a relatively low market share in a low growth market. So dog is low. Dog is low. Star product is high. Question mark product is low high. Sorry. Cash cow product is low high. Question mark product is high low. Once you know this, you can write freely without cramming anything. A dog product is low. It has a low market growth, low market share. Question mark product is high low. It's operating in a high growing market, but it's generating a low market share. Cash cow products generate high market share in a low growing market. That is HL, high low. Star product is high. Generate high market share in a high growing market. By the time we start reading all these things, I will go through the notes, we master it. So a dog product has a relatively low market share in a low growing market. You can see that it is really underperforming. And this one will give the company a nightmare because a lot of investment has been incurred. So it's generated low market share, and this might well be loss-making. Because with that continuous low sales, low profitability, weekly, monthly, yearly, it results to substantial losses to the organization. So it might be loss-making to the company. If care is not taken, we have a situation whereby some dog products will bend towards generating negative returns. So before it generates a negative returns, then we expect the company could have taken a strategic decision either to divest the product, stop production for now, or sell the product. Because there is no point in producing and selling a product that is not profitable. And that is the more reason why you see that many organizations discontinue dog products. That discontinue is what I told you, that the strategic time is divestment decision. Dog products have weak competitive position. In time of competition, the product is weak. And in time of customer preference, because of customers, they have lost their preference for the product. Their taste and fashion has been shifted away to other available, newly introduced products in the market. Due to that changes in taste and preference of the customers, it affects the sales and profitability. So dog products, again, they generally generate limited cash and have poor prospects for significant growth. It's always difficult for us to transform a dog product to question mark products. But based on experience, industry experience and the rest, we are seeing a lot of products like that have been transformed. But it takes years. It takes unrelenting efforts to be able to transform some dogs products. So what are the managerial approach that we can give the company that have their product in dog contracts? The management should not divest this product in haste. Can see the way I put it. That company should not divest. They should not stop production and withdraw the product in circulation in haste. Because some of the strategic roles dog products play in the competitive market. There are some dog products that support other existing performing products. It is possible that a product that we regarded as a dog product now, that was the firstborn of the company. That was the product they started with. That was the product that gave them that established brand. Or they need that product to complete their product line or portfolio. So if you withdraw that product totally in circulation, it might affect customers' patronage for other products. And that's the reason why we have to be very careful in taking some strategic decisions in this. So what are we now expecting the management to do on dog products? One, they should conduct a profitability and strategic value analysis before divestment decision of the product. Two, they should harvest the product. I've told you harvesting means holistic cost control and reduction. We reduce cost of distribution, cost of production, cost of promotion, cost of overhead expenses. Everything will be reduced. That is what we call harvesting. Same on the dog product. Another strategic approach is to reduce unnecessary marketing, production, and administrative costs. At the same time, we can consider product repositioning. If there is an identifiable profitable niche, that product positioning means that we can distribute the product to a less competitive market if the market is profitable. And we must advise the company that they should avoid emotional attachment to the product, not minding if it has been in the system for a long time. But we can't continue to finance a non-profitable product. Okay, what are the limitations of the Boston Consulting Group matrix? The essence of putting this limitation is because it's part of the literatures for this particular topic. Ordinarily, I will have omitted it, but we don't know the direction, the dimension in which the question might be set. So that's the more reason why I still retain the limitation, because I'm expecting a scenario whereby ICANN will give us a standard question in that we might be required to classify, or they give us a brief information about the different product line of the company in terms of the sales and revenue they generate. We'll be the one to classify them and give them a name and look for the strategic approach, what the company is doing to manage them, so the return on each of the products. So the limitation might not be all that are necessary, but it's good that we know it is an added value. So what are the limitations of BCG Matrix? So some of the limitations is that there can be practically difficulties in determining what exactly high and low mean in a particular situation. Two, the matrix assumes that each SBU is independent, and this is not always the case, because there should be a potential synergy among all these products. And they said that another scholar said the position of the dog is frequently misunderstood because many dog products play a vital role in helping strategic business units achieve competitive advantage. I mentioned that before. Just like when 7-Up bottling company, they have their products that fall under these contracts. Before, originally it was their breadwinner, that is 7-Up. It's fallen in the position of dog. The product reached decline stage at that time. Everything has been done. They are at the verge of divestment decision before the sale of Pepsi Peak. And today now, 7-Up is seen in the circulation, and it's no longer the cash cow of the company because that position has been taken by Pepsi, which is the breadwinner of the company in terms of sales and profit and generation. Okay, let's quickly proceed because we have a lot of things to look at. So another light that we are looking at is SWOT analysis. I don't expect us to waste much time here so that we can attend to the next topic or subtopic. SWOT analysis, SWOT analysis, SWOT. So the SWOT analysis stands for analysis of the strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats facing the company. S for strength, W for weaknesses. Okay, Ida, I'm with you. You have a question? You can proceed, please.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, can you give some examples of star product and the cash cow?
Can I give what?
Examples of the
Okay,
product
example of the cash
involved.
cow.
Yeah,
The point is, it depends on individual company. You know, we don't have access to the cash flow of the company, but tentatively, based on what we are seeing, the market observations and trend, we can just speak on the company. Like now, I mentioned the what's it called? The food and beverages industry now. I mentioned that of 7-Up. When you look at their product portfolio, product line, you will discover that their carbonated drink, they have Pepsi, 7-Up, they have H2O, they have what's it called? They have Aquafina water. They produce so many products. Is that understood? So these are products will be classified based on the amount of revenue and sales is generating. Any product that generates the highest market share, the highest sales and profitability, and on a sustainable basis, yearly like that, that is a cash cow product. And depending on the degree of competition in the markets where their product is being sold. A good example now, you know, the Nigerian bottling company bottled Coke. 7-Up bottling company bottled Pepsi. Rice Food bottled Big Cola. We have another one, American Cola. We have another one, RC Cola. These are foreign products. So when you look at all these products that we mentioned, they are competing products that are produced by different companies. So when we now compare of all the 4 products that we produce in our own company, Pepsi is fighting Coke. Is as well fighting Big Cola, fighting RC Cola and the rest. What is the relative market share of these products in the market in relation to other competing products like Coke and the rest? That is one way of looking at BCG. So internally, we now look at other products that we are producing, like Coke, Fanta, Schweppes, Sprite. We have Eva Water, we have 5 Alive, we have Zero Coke. All these products now, we look at the revenue they are generating to the company and their sales. Anyone that is generating the highest and excess returns to the company consistently, that is the product that we call a cash cow product. So without looking at the cash flow, but mere looking at what is happening in the market, we all know that Coke is a cash cow for Nigerian bottling company. So in another company too, when you look at it in area of an insurance company now, that have motor insurance, life insurance policy, that they have fire insurance and the rest, which product is moving? Which product they have the highest customers that come for insurable interest on this? Which product is generating the highest return? So that is the classification. Our marine insurance, motor insurance, fire insurance, life insurance, we classify them into star, cash cow, question mark, and dog. That dog means that product that customers is not even demanding for and is in existence. Another complaint, their own product is doing very well. Ours is not doing very well. We classify it as dog. I think that explanation is clear. Hello?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we are talking of SWOT, SWOT analysis. S, as I told you, strength, W, weakness, O, opportunity, and T, threat. So strength analysis, it's an internal analysis. Internal analysis that is used to know the relative area of improved performance of the company or areas of leverage or competitive advantage. That's what we call our strength. So a company's strength are its characteristics that give it an advantage over other competitors. Sometimes these strengths are also referred to as the unique selling points of the company. Unique selling points. Because it gives the firm specific advantage. So what are the sources of the strength for a company? The source of this strength are resources. Some companies have limited resources, but all these resources are well utilized. Apart from that, another source of strength is capability, strategic capability of the company. And that strategic capability, if it is well utilized to create value, it has become the strength of the company. Another area of strength is what we call VIRO, Viro. Viro implies a strategic strength that gives the company sustainable competitive advantage. Why is it a strength? The V there means that V, the strategy of the company is valuable. I, the strategy of the company is inimitable. Inimitable means that it is difficult to imitate by other competitors. R, the strategy of the company is rare. It's an uncommon strategy. YO, that strategy of the company is organized. There is synergy in that strategy. So the strategy of the company, examples are the following. We are talking of the strength of the company, the internal analysis of the company. Some of the strength of the company are these: extensive research knowledge, that is investment in the area of research and development, innovation, technology, is the strength of the company. 2, availability of highly skilled scientists in the workforce. 3, investment in advanced equipment. The strength of a company can be patent rights, staff motivation, product innovation and differentiation, including low staff turnover. It's not limited to this. We can add more, and we can be giving more in a passage of the questions that we will be given in the exam. Staff motivation, low staff turnover, high market share, increasing profitability, high return on investment, All those things are what we call strength of the company. The opposite of the strength is weakness. Weaknesses analysis too, they are internal analysis. We analyze our weakness within and not outside. So weaknesses, they are the area of low performance that require renewed improvements. So these are our weaknesses. What the companies have to do is that they must identify all these areas of weaknesses, because weaknesses are harmful to our performance. They are harmful to the company in that they can retrogress the progress of the company. As a result of that, we have to ensure that all our areas of relative weaknesses must be identified. Area of relative weaknesses must be identified, and strategies must be put in place to strengthen this. At times, the weakness of a company can be in the area of leadership. There might be lack of succession plan. When we build an institution without building a succession plan, it's not good for a company. A weakness of a company can be inertia. I think we have mentioned that word, INERTIA, rigidity, lack of flexibility, lack of innovation, lack of divestment of investment, even when we have the capacity and resources to do so. It's a bad weakness. The weakness of a company can be opposite of everything that we have under the strength here. That means poor research knowledge, high staff turnover, poor innovation and differentiation, lack of new product development. All these things are typical examples of what we call weaknesses of organization. All these weaknesses have to be identified and strengthened to become the strength of the company. So further examples of weaknesses are slow progress with research projects, poor record of converting research projects into new product development, lack of compliance, high staff turnover, poor staff motivation. All these things are identify weaknesses of the company. So we move to opportunity. Opportunity are external analysis. It is only strengths and weaknesses that are internal analysis. Opportunity and threats, they are external analysis. And what do we call opportunity without missing words? Opportunity are the external factors of the SWOT analysis that may positively influence a company performance. Yes, they may positively influence a company performance if well identified and exploited, because they are untapped areas of benefits that the company have not identified or probably neglected. So that's the more reason why we advise company, that is part of our expert judgments, advice and opinion, that company must scan their environment. They must embark on constant environmental scanning, embark on constant strategic surveillance, embark on constant discovery of opportunity. That is DOI, deliberate opportunity identification. And that is what the likes of all the serial entrepreneurs, Dangote, Bua, and all of them companies are looking to. Areas of opportunity that they can exploit, invest in, and have competitive edge. So the best way to identify the business opportunity in the industry is by using the pestle analysis. The best way to assess the external factor is by using the pestle analysis, political analysis, economic analysis, sociocultural analysis, technological analysis, environmental analysis, and legal analysis. So once we do this, we'll be able to get areas where opportunity abound that the company can utilize. So what are the examples of opportunity? Examples of opportunity are increasing purchasing power of customers. It's an opportunity because that one will enhance their patronage for our products, and it will in turn bring about increase in sales volume and profitability. So increase in the purchasing power of the customers is an opportunity. Availability of government subsidy is an opportunity. More favorable international trade policy is an opportunity. FDI is an opportunity. Discovery of new resources or natural resources is an opportunity too. When we discover another areas of diversification or another profitable market segment is an opportunity. So all these opportunities are here. Added example are strong growth in the total market demand, new scientific discovery, favorable government policy is there, tax rebates, tax holiday or reduction in tax, and discovery of new resources. So the last alphabet in SWOT analysis is T, and that T stands for threat. Another name for threat is turbulence, challenges, problems, and all these ones are classified as external analysis. If you can recall that when I talked through the business environment, I informed you that the business environment can be relatively static. It can be turbulent, it can be complex, it is highly uncertain, and the business environment comprises of series of institutional forces that might affect the achievement of the company goals and objectives. These institutional forces are what we call threats. One of our major threats in our business environment that we don't have control over are the competitors. Despite the fact that we knew that our competitors, they are harmful, they are poisonous to our business, we cannot eliminate them in the market. Same with the distributors, depending on the nature of the product that we are producing. The distributors too, they have their own excesses at times. And that's the more reason why we cannot totally eliminate the distributors. Despite the fact that at times they too, they can be harmful. So threat comes in so many ways. The government policy that is favorable today, it might become tomorrow to become unfavorable to us. Government governance, unstable decision, the continuous coming in of new competitors, that with time, the influx of new competitors, they are threats to us. And we must not allow all these threats to overcome us. And that's the more reason why we have to formulate strategy to adapt, cope, or overcome all these threats. So other examples of threats are the recent merger of two major competitors. Just like the way Diamond Bank and Access Bank merge, it strengthens them and give them leverage over other banks and other deposit money bank operating in the financial institution. Another threat might be risks of stricter regulation or new products. Increase in tax is a threat. Increase in the interest rate is a threat. Restricted access to finance or loan is a threat. Influence of new technology is equally a threat. But technology changes every day. As technology changes, innovation improves. If other competitors have been able to adopt the new technology and innovation, and we are unable to do so, it's a threat. But they will have edge over us. So the decline in economic performance, you can see it here. Insecurity is there. Insecurity is a threat to us and our investments. Declining economic performance, inflation, unemployment, all these are typical example of threats that is affecting our business. Aside this, CSF and KPI was mentioned in the exam, that we have to know the meaning of CSF and KPI. So what's the meaning of CSF and KPI? It should be abbreviated like this in exam. If the examiner now chooses to write it in full, but based on my experience, they abbreviate it. CSF means critical success factor, while KPIs means key performance indicators. Mr. Akisheye, I'm with you. You can ask your question, sir. Hello?
Sir, hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. You can have the floor.
Okay, all right, sir. So I'm just trying to look at how unemployment will be a threat to organization. So in my head, I'm thinking, oh, if we have larger population that are unemployed, it will be opportunity for the company to have maybe cheap labor. That is in my head, right? Which will
Okay.
result in low cost. So I'm looking at how to explain it to become a threat to the organization unemployment precisely.
Okay, sir.
Then the last question is, do we liken the threat to be a tailwind? Why I mean headwind? Why the opportunity to be like that? Thank you.
Do we likely to do what? The threat to be what?
Yeah, a threat to any organization. Can we call that headwind and the opportunity tailwind?
Okay.
If something that yeah.
Yeah, I salute your contribution. I love that you really impressed me. You are right. You see, this unemployment, you say it frankly that will have been an opportunity for us to have another source of labor, probably a cheap labor, considering our population, increasing population. Supposed to be a blessing to us, but it's a cost to us. In Asia, their increasing population is effectively utilized. It gives them different categories of skill, unskilled, unemployed, and labor. Even those ones that are unskilled, the company can add value. That's what we call human capital development through training and the rest. So it will help us in improving our operational efficiency. Apart from that, this unemployment that you are seeing, it has something to do with this insecurity. Because they will become a willing tool. Is that because they want a means of livelihood too? This unemployment that you are seeing will affect our product performance. Because the purchasing power of an unemployed youth, we all know that is weak or low. So these are people that would have seen as a prospective customer or part of our existing customers. They're supposed to patronize us. This unemployment now will affect the gross domestic product of the nation. So it has a multiplier effect on the economy and the performance of the company. So you are right. I love that contribution, sir. God bless you, sir. Thank you. So the CSF, critical success factor, the critical success factor should be identified at several stages in the strategic planning process. Anytime we are making a strategic decision, even when our strategy has been implemented, or we have finished producing a product, or we have distributed the product, we have to ensure what are the CSF that we must use to identify the success of our strategy. So at each stage of the planning process, critical success factor must be considered and evaluated. Therefore, management needs to understand the main reason why particular products or services are successful. What are those things that are critical to the success of the product? How come some products are successful, some are not successful? Or how come our own product and services, we are achieving success on it, and other companies that are not achieving success? So the critical success factor are important in the process of making strategic choices and decisions. So we have to take note of this, and that's the more reason why I'm trying to emphasize them there. We should all also know that apart from making strategic choices and decisions, our critical success factor, CSF, are important for strategic implementation. So what do we now call the critical success factor that we have been mentioning? Before we look at example, I want us to know that there are 6-step approach to using critical success factor to achieve competitive advantage. Our critical success factor, it can be low price, it can be promotion, it can be innovation. You see how we use it now. But let's look at the 6-step approach. I've listed the 6-step approach to using critical success factor to achieve competitive advantage. The first step is 1, to identify the success factor that are critical for profitability. What are the critical success factors that we want to identify and we want to use as a criteria to measure the success of our product that will bring about continuous profitability for the company? Identify the success factor that are what? Critical for profitability, both in the long run, medium and short time. Example, this might include low selling price. So when you look at this newly emergent new supermarkets, we cannot consider it as a hypermarket, Boku, in our various community. So their strategy that they use to penetrate, that they want to use for sustainability, survival, and edge is low selling price. And that's the more reason why you are seeing pull, crowd of customers at times that will go slow in some of their sales outlets. So our critical success factor might be that we want to use a penetration pricing strategy that we call low selling price. So apart from the low selling price, look at another example of critical success factor, and also aspect of service and quality, such as what? Prompt delivery. So a company can choose to make selling at affordable price and ensuring prompt delivery as their critical success factor. So apart from that, our prompt delivery will brings about timely delivery of the product to the customers at the right time, in the right place, in the right form. It's critical. So customers know us for that. When it comes to prompt delivery, I trust that company. It's a critical success factor. When we uphold it, speak for us and to give us goodwill. Another critical success factor can be low level of sales returns. We don't want a situation whereby a customer will buy goods and they have to return it. That this your product is default. This your product is default. It shows that internally, our TQM, total quality management, is deficient. At each level of the product, we have to ensure product consistency, quality assurance, and quality control in order to minimize what? Sales returns. Okay, number two step that we need to know is that identify what is necessary. What is necessary means that the critical competency. What is necessary in order to achieve a superior performance in the critical success factor. So what are those things that are necessary? I've cited example. Now look at this. For example of what is necessary. If a critical success factor is low sales price, that is selling at moderate or affordable price, what is not necessary? A critical competence might be strict control over cost. If we want to sell at a lower price, we have to ensure that we have control over our what? Cost. Our operational costs have to be looked at. We must have budgetary control so that our total production costs will reduce and we can be able to achieve our objective. Look at another thing. What is necessary, number two? After this, we move. If a critical success factor is prompt delivery at the right time. That's what I mean by prompt delivery. If a critical success factor is prompt delivery after receipt of order, a critical competency might be either fast production cycle or maintaining adequate inventory. We have to ensure that our production cycle is very fast, or rather we maintain inventory. By the time we maintain inventory, then we cannot run out of stock. Because today's inventory is tomorrow's production. We are going to have sufficient materials to push it into the production that will be processed to produce finished and tangible goods. So as customer is placing order, we have enough goods to sell. So there won't be a situation whereby we are going to disappoint our customers because we have taken enough inventory of materials. In step 3, the entity should develop the level of critical competence so that it acquires the ability to gain a competitive advantage. That step 3 is now telling us that there should be effective use of our resources, manpower, technology, competency, core competency, and we must integrate all these things to achieve results. Number 4 gives us more advice that identify appropriate key performance indicators for competence, KPI. We should identify it. We just started an example now. If our CSF, critical success factor, is to minimize 0 defects or possible returns after sales, if that is our CSF, to reduce or eliminate return after sales, what should be our key performance indicators? Our key performance indicator should be what is the total number of goods that was returned weekly or monthly. So to every critical success factor, there must be key performance indicators. So the 5 steps, we must give emphasis to developing critical competence for each aspect of performance. We must develop that. And we have to look at what other competitors are doing. We should benchmark. So lastly, we have to monitor the firm's achievement of the targets, KPI. We have to monitor it, but it is that KPI that we are going to use to ensure that it's our critical success factor working. If our critical success factor is low sales, low selling price, does this translate into high patronage and profitability? If it doesn't, that means it's not working. So our critical success factor should be evaluated using the key performance indicators. So I don't want you to be surprised when you see the term SOAR in exam. So at times these are words that they use interchangeably. These are words they use to set question that the complaint have a mark SWOT analysis as part of their critical success factor in the industry where they are operating. SWOT analysis means SOAR. It's not difficult. We get this word from SWOT analysis. So SWOT analysis is a strategic planning techniques which help organizations to focus on their current strengths and opportunity and create a vision of future aspiration and results. And that is exactly the meaning of SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis, the S there stand for strength, O for opportunity, A for aspiration, and R for results. So SWOT analysis is a derivative of SWOT analysis. So what SWOT analysis stands for is that it is a strategic planning techniques that give organization opportunity to holistically focus on their current strengths and opportunity, and at the same time project into the future, develop future aspiration. What do we want to achieve in the next 5 years, 4 years? That is aspiration for the company to aspire, and that our aspiration should come with a result. What are the expected results? So all aspiration, our expected result might be to attract new investors, to achieve increased profitability or return on investment, or the result might be to meet shareholders' expectations. So SWOT analysis means analysis of the strengths, opportunity, aspirations, and future results of the organization. We must know that not only does SWOT analysis help the firm recognize their key strengths and opportunities, it also helps the firm in deciding its aspirations and results. So therefore, SWOT analysis look both at the present and the future, and is helpful for the firm to move forward. So analysis of the internal strength, external opportunity, setting of future aspiration, and evaluating the results to be derived. That's what we call SWOT analysis. So another terms that we have to know is what we call lock-in strategy. Lock-in strategy. What are we locking? So a lock-in strategy is another approach to gaining and keeping competitive advantage, meaning that lock-in strategy gives company competitive advantage if well utilized. So the idea of locking is that when a customer has made an initial decision to purchase a company's product, a company is buying our product probably for the first time, because that's the most common. Or he bought it for once, he wants to repeat his purchase decision. Lock-in strategy can be used. So let me go through it again. A lock-in strategy is another approach to gaining and keeping competitive advantage. The idea of lock-in is that when a customer has made an initial decision to purchase a company's product, it is committed to making more purchases from the same company in the future. Though not in all cases, but if a company uses a lock-in strategy, that customer is committed to making more future purchases decision. Okay, the customer is locking to the supplier and the supplier's products. A lock-in strategy, or we can call it a retention strategy, customer retention strategy, that company use to lock to retain all their customers that have one way or the other purchased their products. Like for instance, this will give you a good understanding of what we call a lock-in strategy now. Microsoft has successfully locked in many customers to its software products because customers will find it difficult to switch to personal computer that do not have Microsoft operating system or do not include some of the widely used application package such as Word and Excel. Even there are some products that you will buy, it might be electronic devices and the rest, all the software devices. It might even be laptop. That when you buy that laptop or some devices, anytime you want to do further installation or you need spare part and the rest, the engineer will tell you that, no, Mr. Ali, you cannot use HP software here. It's Dell that you are going to use because you forget that this product is Dell. So we have to ensure that the software or the part that you are using is for that particular product. It's a lock-in strategy. And there are some products that are specifically designed that way. That once you buy their product, all other accessories that you are going to use will be for that model. So lock-in strategy is a customer retention strategy that we put in place to retain our customers and prevent them from buying products from other competitors. So a successful lock-in strategy, what happened to it? A successful lock-in strategy often depends on becoming the industry leader or provider of the standard products to the industry. Because they will do it in such a way that you will not be able to go to another places. Unless you want to go to their branch, their major suppliers, other subsidiary companies that they have. Well, it is only their products, software, spare parts that you can use. You can't use another one. Like this evening before the onset of our lecture, I was trying to be concerned about light, stability, and the rest. So I have a laptop here that they brought, and that laptop, we are looking at the battery to see the consistency of the battery, how long, the lifespan of the battery. So to cut it short, we are thinking of probably they will get another battery. So it's HP. So we have to look for HP battery, and not Sinus battery, and not Dell battery. Because at times it will not even work. Okay, next to that is hyper competition. We are moving at a greater pace. I love the pace at which we are moving. Hyper, Hyper. Anywhere you see hyper means something is increasing, accelerating, moving up. So if hyper means increasing, and we now have hyper competition, then you should know that hyper competition means increasing competition. Simple. It's not difficult. If hyper means increasing, and we have competition in front of hyper, that means hyper increasing what? Competition. If you don't want to use the word increasing, you can use the word accelerating competition, aggressive competition, intense competition, heady competition. That's the meaning of hyper competition that we are required to know. So, cost advantage is much more difficult to sustain when there is hyper competition in the market. It's true, because our profitability cannot be stable or predicted. Even our sales too can be at times be fluctuating. We cannot gain that cost advantage in hyper competitive markets, except we are the market leader or our brand of product or services gain equity. Even at that, in hyper competitive markets, the competition level keeps increasing to give us difficulty in achieving or maintaining cost advantage for a long time. Hyper competition occurs when the frequency, boldness, and aggressiveness of dynamic move by competitors create condition of consistent disequilibrium and change. Sorry, don't mind our grammar there. I will simplify it or edit it. What we call hyper competition, it occurs when the level of customers' aggressiveness increase in the market, whereby the number of suppliers that we even have is becoming more than that of the buyers, or as a result of the fact that all the products available in the market offer the same benefits. There is low switching cost, meaning that they are offered for sale at relatively the same price. So these products are offered by different competitors and they are used in the same way. So all these things brings what we call hyper competition in the market. And anytime there's hyper competition in the market, there's going to be disequilibrium in the market, because everybody will be chasing customers. Nobody wants to lose their customers, and at the same time, we want to gain more customers. High level of hyper competition will bring about the use of lock-in strategy, that if you cannot win new customers, retain the existing ones that we have. And some of the factors that brings about hyper competition is the innovation, changes in technology, introduction of new products, changes in customers' orientation, perceptions, and digital marketing. But this helps the customer to be well informed. They have the opportunity to search through the internet, compare products, look at product varieties, benefits of product, and price. So this gives the consumers high purchasing power. You can see even in the banking industry, in the financial institution, there is hyper competition. We have so many banks named Zenith, Access Bank, Union Bank, First Bank, IBTC, FCMB, name them. That is an hyper competitive environment. And what makes it to be more hyper competitive now is that this digital era that we have make it difficult for companies to even identify their customers. Some of us here, apart from some of our colleagues that are working in bank, we can recall that it's been a while that we entered the banking hall. Is either you do the transaction on your phone or you use the POS. So it increased the level of hyper competition and difficulty in retaining our customers. So hyper competition simply means increasing competition, or use the word aggressive competition, that occur when companies are finding it difficult to have a stable sales, stable return on investment, difficulty in reducing our customers, and difficulty in sustaining their competitive advantage over others in the market. So when we now notice that there is hyper competition in the market, we must live with it and find a way of overcoming the challenges of hyper competition. So what are the strategies to overcome hyper competition? 1, shorter product life cycle. And that is what you are experiencing in the mobile industry. And that's the reason why by the time they produce this, in the next couple of months or weeks, they have to roll out another product version. They might increase the quality of the camera, put some more features and the rest, expecting that one to spend about 3, 6, or 8 months in the market before they produce another one. So shorter product life cycle. We introduce a quality product in the market. To overcome hyper competition, we can imitate competitors. It's allowed. Imitation of competitors is another source of strategy and strength. Also, to overcome hyper competition, we adopt customer relationship marketing or customer relationship management and innovation. All this strategy will help us to overcome hyper competition. Next, we look at PIMS. PIMS is another term that is very, very essential. It helps us in evaluating the effectiveness of our marketing strategies that we adopted or implemented. Of what significance is this marketing strategy on our sales, on our profitability, on our capital, return on capital employed, return on investment? Of what significance of this marketing strategy that we adopted on corporate expansions? That's what we use PIMS for. And these PIMS will give us opportunity to collect data. And that customer data can be used to analyze so many things. We can use it to analyze customers' patronage. We can use it to analyze our profitability. It can guide our investment decisions. So PIMS analysis stands for profit impact. That P is profit. I is impact. Profit impact of marketing strategy. So in PIMS, P stands for profit, I stands for impact, M stands for marketing, S stands for strategy. PIMS means analysis of the profit impact of marketing strategy. So the PIMS database contains data provided by several thousand strategic business units of major corporations. So that data, we can now use it to analyze all those factors that are critical to the success of our company. We can use those data to analyze the effect of the marketing strategy on our sales and profitability. The database that we collected, data that we derived from PIMS, can be used for another purpose. So that database can be used, for example, to relate the success of a strategic business unit to factors such as market share, diversification strategy, investment intensity, product or service quality, and many more. A good example now, when we get the data via PIMS, we discover that both fourth, second, third quarter last year, the company earned a profit of 20 million naira as profit after tax without promotion. This does not augur well with investors, the shareholders, the board of directors, and many more. So at the deliberation at the annual general meeting last year, or early this year, January, we now decided to adopt and implement promotional strategy using celebrity endorsement, event sponsorship, and advertisement. So in our first and second quarter now, we evaluate the impact of this promotional strategy that we adopted now. We now discover that our company profits after tax is 62 million naira. We have not even considered the third quarter. That means if we want to evaluate our PIMS, profit impact of marketing strategy, that means the promotional strategy that we adopted and implemented have significant positive impact in terms of profitability on our performance. And that's the way we look at PIMS. And that's exactly what PIMS stands for. If that is understood, we look at our strategic direction and soft matrix as the last thing to look at tonight, if I don't make a mistake. Strategic direction. The strategic direction is formulated by Igor Ansov. IGOR. Igor Ansov. IGOR. So in exam, ICAN will not stress you, the examiner will not stress you. They use this word Ansov, using Ansov growth matrix. And if they now use the full name, using Igor Ansov growth matrix, it's okay. But I know they will tell you using Ansov matrix. You see, the Ansov growth matrix is a matrix that we use for identifying the appropriate strategy to use to gain competitive advantage and enhance performance. So Igor Ansov said there are alternative strategies that company can for them to improve their performance and achieve their predetermined objectives, both financial and non-financial objectives. So let's now look at it. Growing a business is the process of improving some measures of a company's success. A business can grow in terms of employees, customer base, international coverage, profits, but growth is most often determined in terms of revenue. So there are different ways of growing a business. So to now grow your business, Igor Ansov now give us strategy that we can use to achieve this growth. He classified those strategies into 4. We have 1, market penetration strategy. 2, market development strategy. 3, product development strategy. 4, diversification strategy. He said this strategy, as an individual, businessman, conglomerate organization, multinational company, you can use one of the strategy. You can decide to use 2, and you can use the entire 4. You can use the entire 4. A lot of companies are using the combination of the 4 to achieve their strategic intent, strategic intentions, and positive results. So, Igor Ansov classify strategy into 4. I said this strategy will give us expansion, improved performance, and a lot of benefits. He said company can use market penetration strategy, market development strategy, product development strategy, and diversification strategy. The first one that we call market penetration strategy. That's number 1, market penetration. Please don't misinterpret this, Because due to exam pressure and the rest, students normally misinterpret this. And once the examiner see misinterpretation, they will cancel it. They'll give you 0 mark. Market penetration means selling existing product or services in an existing market. Market penetration. It means that market is already existed. It's an existing market. It's not a new market. People have been buying there. A lot of companies have been selling product there and the rest. Possibly we have not started selling there. Or probably our brand is not known. We want to create that brand recognition, attract customers' patronage. So market penetration means selling an existing product in an existing market. We are not producing a new product. It's a product that we have been selling before. We now take it to an existing market. What is it all about? Market penetration is about selling more of the company's existing product to existing markets. So why are we doing that? What's the objective of that? The objective is to penetrate and grow the customer's base. We want to increase the number of customers that will patronize our products. To penetrate and grow the customer base in the existing market. As a result of that, one of the strategies that we can use to penetrate a market easily is to sell at affordable price. One of the strategies to penetrate a market. If we want to achieve market penetration, we can use price, selling at a moderate or affordable price. Or we can use very attractive, appealing promotion, like sponsorship of events. Or we use that celebrity endorsement, brand ambassador. So that one we create mass awareness and high market coverage or something like advertisement. Those are the strategies that we use to penetrate a market. So market penetration occurs when a company takes their existing products to existing market. They sell existing product in existing market in order to increase the customer's patronage, revenue, and profitability. And market penetration can be achieved by selling at a moderate or reasonable price through advertisement. So another thing that we have to know is that market penetration calls for aggressive marketing. And that there are 3 ways in which this strategy might be successful. We persuade existing customers to use more of the product or services and to buy more of this product. We have to persuade them. We cannot force them. It is peddlers, untrained marketers that force or use a pressure sales on the customers. They are not after repeat purchase. We persuade them to buy more of our products. And in the course of persuading them, you must not condemn other competitors' products. It is unethical. That is what we call the marketing tactics. To penetrate a market, we can attract new users, which might include advertisement. Advertisement can be used. It has its own advantage too. You bring about switching, and at times we can use it to reduce the customer's switching behavior. Another strategy is product development strategy. The product development strategy occurs when a company takes new products to existing market. We develop a new product and we sell it to existing market. That's a justification for that. Anytime we develop a new product, our first target customers are all our existing customers that have been buying our products. So under the product development is about developing and selling new product to existing market. That is our product development. After idea generation, idea screening, concept development, business evaluation, product development. That product that we are developing is a pilot product, small quantity. We take it to the next stage, text marketing, to test the product attribute and acceptability by the customers. So if it is positive, we have done the necessary corrections and the rest, we launch the product. When we launch that new product, we sell it to our existing customers. It is later we now try to convince some prospective and potential customers to patronize us. So in the product development, company produce a new product and they sell it in existing markets. That is the meaning of product development. If you produce a new product and you're not trying to start looking for a target customer, except if that company is a new entrant, they are coming to that industry for the first time. But for those companies that have existing product already, so anytime they produce a new product, they have to sell to some of their loyal existing customers, distributors, dealers that have been patronizing them. So why are we using product development strategy? There are several reasons for choosing this product development strategy. One, because the business entity might have a strong brand name for its products. Since we have a strong brand name, we can use that one to sell any other product that we have been producing. Maybe like a strong brand name, Samsung, a strong brand name, Guinness. You can see that Guinness normally use what we call umbrella family name. Guinness Stout, Guinness Malt. Another reason why we produce a new product is because the entity must react to new technological development. There's a new technology, new innovation, and some of our competitors have started adopting. So we have to quickly react, not to lose our customers and market for them. So there are many reasons why we use product development strategy. So the third strategy that was propounded by Ansoff is market development. When you see market development, that means market expansion. So what does market development mean? It means taking our existing product into new markets. Market development. It is that market that is our focus. We are not producing a new product now. It is only in second strategy, product development, that we produce a new product. But under the market development, the company focus is to expand the geographical market coverage for their products. We want to take our product to a new market where we have not been selling before. We want to take our product to a new market where the brand is unknown, so that we can increase the brand awareness, our geographical market coverage, win new customers, improve our sales and returns. That's what we call market development. And we can develop the market within Nigeria. We can as well develop the market across national boundaries. Taking it to Ghana, exporting the product to Egypt and the rest is a market development strategy. So the fourth strategy is diversification strategy. A diversification strategy is a strategy that the company adopts when they invest into another line of business, or probably into unrelated line of business. When we are talking of market development, diversification strategy, the diversification strategy too is a strategy that companies use to minimize business risks, or probably to overcome business risks, or to achieve what we call corporate expansion. How? Let's look at it together. Diversification strategy are about entering new markets with new products that are either related or completely unrelated to a company's existing offering. That is very clear. Anytime we are talking of diversification, there are two ways to look at it. It is either the company enter new markets with a new product. We produce a new product for a new market segment that we have identified that is profitable. Or it might be that the company diversify into a related industry. You can see it's a related diversification, or we diversify completely into unrelated line of business. And be it related or unrelated, we can achieve the two together. Company can diversify into both related and non-related. A lot of multinational companies are doing that. There are majorly two forms of diversification. I don't want to bother you with the third one that we call hybrid diversification. Majorly two forms of diversification. The first one is what we call concentric diversification. C-O-N-C-E-N-T-R-I-C, concentric diversification. And at times they call it horizontal diversification. But take note of that concentric. That is the most common. That is what examiners use mostly. Concentric diversification. Another name for concentric diversification is related diversification. Related diversification is also called concentric diversification. Related or concentric, what does it mean? It's about entering a new market with a new product that is somewhat related to a company's existing product offering. For example, a manufacturer of vacuum cleaners, e.g., Dyson in the UK, might diversify into the manufacture of washing machines. You see, related diversification simply means that a company invests into a new line of business that is somehow related to some of the businesses that they have been doing in the past or recently. And because of the fact that we diversify into a related line of business, it will save costs. It will reduce our risks. It will give us opportunity to gain economic of scope. Economic of scope means that using some of our existing facilities, manpower, or machines to produce the new product. You can see a good example here. A manufacturer of vacuum cleaner diversify into manufacture of washing machines. Another example of a related diversification is Dangote Cement diversify into real estate business. It's a related diversification. Already they produce cement. A good example of related diversification is when we have flour mix diversify into bakery business, production of bread. They produce flours already. WAEC diversify into book publishing. All these are what we call related diversification. Look at another example. An airline company might acquire an international chain of hotel, or airline company diversify into hotel business. It is related. Even some of their customers that want to book hotel, they can log into the hotel waiting for their flight time. The second form of diversification is conglomerate diversification. Conglomerate diversification is also called unrelated diversification that occur when a company diversify into unrelated line of business. Since it is unrelated, conglomerate, The company might not have the opportunity in most cases to gain the use of existing workers, facilities, equipment, or probably gain economic of scope, because it's a new line of business that has nothing to do with their previous business. Conglomerate diversification is not advisable in most cases because it is highly risky, it is intensive, and does not guarantee success. A good example of conglomerate diversification is Dangote Group diversifying into refinery business. That's a conglomerate diversification. It's a new line of business, totally, and highly volatile and risky. It's a green line ventures. Some of the terminologies in diversifications or some other forms is vertical diversification, that we popularly call vertical integration. A vertical diversification means moving backward or forward in the value chain by taking control of other activities that used to be outsourced to third parties. All those activities like sourcing for raw materials, distributions, promotion, processing of some raw materials. If the companies have been doing it outside before, they can source it internally. That is vertical diversification. So what are the benefits of diversification? Before we look at the benefits of diversification, I told you we have two types of diversification. We have conglomerate diversification, we have concentric diversification. So company can use the two, please. Companies like Dangote Group, Lever, we mentioned Flour Mix, P-Set, Cadbury, all of them, they have the capacity to use the two. USC, there are some of USC is one of the father of diversification. They diversify concentrically and conglomeratically. So any company that uses the two, at times they call them hybrid firm. So don't let the examiner deceive you that the company is considered or regarded as an hybrid firm. When they say they are hybrid firm, it implies that those companies diversify into related and unrelated line of businesses. So Dangote 2 is an hybrid firm, UAC is an hybrid firm. Okay, benefits of diversification. One, diversification reduces risks. It reduces business risks, particularly related diversification that we call concentric diversification. The risks reduce, and it has so many benefits. Number two, benefits, diversification save costs and generates synergy. Number three, benefits, diversification promotes economic of scope. 4, the diversification it fosters additional revenue and competitive advantage. And lastly, it increases the portfolio of investment. You see, the one thing that I want you to note here is this, please. Take note of this, listen and listen attentively. The theoretical benefit of diversification that we are seeing here might not be used to judge the company decision in the exam proper. Why? Because ICAN might give us some circumstances that surrounded this diversification decision. Maybe they want to go through alliance for that diversification, or they don't even have the financial capacity. They want to source for foreign direct investment on it, or they want to go into collaboration with another company. Or they give us the cost ratio of this diversification. That if the company is going to diversify, having satisfied all the documents and whatever, these are the likely amount of money that will be spent within so duration. It will require the training of staff, acquisition of equipment, ensuring compliance with environmental and government policy and many, many, many more. So when you look at it, let's say for a year, when they say we should analyze the positive effects of this diversification, it might be possible that the diversification, when they diversify into conglomerate diversification now, unrelated diversification, might not be beneficial to the company at the long run. Yeah. So when you look at all the ratios and the rest too, all the figures that we give us might not be beneficial. Yeah. It might be that the related diversification will be more profitable. Or rather, of all the strategy that Ansoff give us, we might be required to look at the best strategy for the company to adopt. So we might not look at it when we do our analysis. I will now discover that the one that is more profitable is for the company to embark on probably market penetration strategy or product development strategy. So the benefits are here. They are theoretical benefits that any company that diversify into concentric or conglomerate serves to gain. Well, now depends if a figure is attached to it. The outcome of our analysis will now help us to make expert judgment, advice to the company. Is that taken? Okay. So another thing that I want us to know the meaning, which was mentioned in the syllabus, is there's a place they wrote a gap analysis and withdrawal strategy. It's not difficult. Just know the meaning. What do we call gap analysis? Even in academics, when we write a paper, thesis, conference paper, whatever, there's a subsection there where we say gap analysis. So gap analysis means we review the past work that have been done by the previous scholars, the prior literatures or papers that have been done, and this current one. So all those areas neglected and the rest untouched, we look at it. Another gap might be as because of the time lapse can bring about gap. But in relation to SFM and what the syllabus require, a gap analysis is a technique that might be used in strategic planning. And what do we call this gap? A gap is the difference between the position a business entity wants to be, that is future position, future aspiration. The position an entity wants to be by the end of the planning period in order to meet its overall objective. It might be the future targeted position or the position the entity is likely to be if it does not have any new strategy or changes in strategy. So another way we can be able to understand the meaning of gap analysis is this. Simple definition of gap analysis. A gap analysis means the distinction. What I mean by the distinction is the difference or differences. Gap analysis is the differences between the standard objective set by the company and actual performance or results achieved by the company. That is the meaning of gap analysis. Standard targets that come year ended 2026, maybe December 22. We want to end our production, whatever. So our target is to achieve this. It might be financial target or non-financial target. Let's use it that way. And at the end of the day, December 22, or by December 20 or 21 that we are trying to round up for the year before Xmas, we now compare our actual performance with our targeted or standard performance. The difference there is what we call gap analysis. And this gap analysis can be calculated by using any of the statistical or mathematical tools. Again, from the SPSS, SEM, structural equation model, regression analysis, all these things can be used for our gap analysis. And even all the ratios, the accounting ratios are very good in checking our gap analysis. So lastly, we have withdrawal strategy. The withdrawal strategy we have mentioned is severally this night in the course of explaining BCG Matrix. The withdrawal strategy means exit strategy. Exit strategy. They are referred to as abandonment strategy or divestment strategy. So, withdrawal strategy, as the name suggests, a withdrawal strategy is a strategy for withdrawing from a product market area. That means from withdrawing from unprofitable market segment. So this might be appropriate. For example, why are we using withdrawal strategy? One, when the entity can no longer compete effectively. There are sustaining losses on some of their products that are in the dark bracket or decline products. Or it might be the market is oversaturated, or there is incidence of hyper-competition. It might be a local industry, an infant company that is not receiving any benefit, subsidy, protection from the government, and they cannot face all these multinational mining companies. So when the entity can no longer compete effectively in the market, and they might not even have the financial strength and capacity to acquire innovative equipment, so they might decide to quit the market. Or when the entity wishes to use its limited fund and resources in a different product market area, they want to focus on another specific profitable market niche. So they want to leave this market that is too competitive and highly unproductive. Or it might be that the entity wants to use what we call a focus strategy. They don't want to chase all the opportunity in the market without achieving anything. All the while they have not been achieving anything. They are weak in time of competition. So a withdrawal strategy can be used. If our products, for instance, a dog product, continue with a poor run form of performance, is bending towards negative returns, we can use withdrawal strategy. A withdrawal strategy might be adopted as a deliberate policy by deciding to reduce the range of products offered to the market. You can decide not to produce some products that are not profitable. By deciding to reduce the number of markets or market segments that we are serving. Even in withdrawal strategy, a good example is something like downscoping. You know, we have downsizing, we have downscoping. Downsizing is when there is a mass retrenchment of staff due to one reason or the other. Is that understood? But when we downscope, we are closing some branches. We are moving out from some unprofitable markets. We are closing some outlets. That is downscoping. We can do downsizing without downscoping. And at the same time, we can do downscoping without downsizing. If you need further explanation on that, you can DM me so that I will shed more light on it. It's a very interesting illustration. Downsizing and downscoping just occurred to me. So what are the factors or the reason why companies use withdrawal strategy? The reason leading to a withdrawal from a product market area might be any of the following. A decline in the size of the market or market segment. Decline in the size of the market or market segment. Okay. B, more effective and successful competition from rival firms. We can see that this number one is what $10, I gave him, I salute him. He has foresaw it. And that's the one reason why he sold all his shares in Forte Oil, knowing fully that by the time Dangote commences the refinery business fully, it will collapse so many investments. So we have to quickly withdraw from that sector. Another reason why we do withdrawal strategy is poor financial results. The product might be loss-making, or a decision by the entity that their product is no longer a core product. That product has lost its relevance in the market. It's less competitive. So as a result of that, we have tried everything. Because this withdrawal strategy, please, is a last resort strategy. Last thing that we think of. After we have tried everything, it doesn't work. One of the reasons for downsizing is due to hyper competition and declining profitability. So with this, we have come to the end of our lecture tonight. Thank you. I salute you for your commitment and adherence. God will give you more knowledge. And we are praying that the forthcoming exam, your result will be as sweet as chocolate. I declare your success irreversible. So let me release you. So we meet next weekend. Next
Thank you,
week.
sir.
Okay. Regards to the family, happy night rest. Good night,
You too,
everyone.
sir.
Bye. Proud of you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, good night.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Good night.